France to ban some domestic flights where train available.
Here's a summary of the article.
French MPs have voted to suspend domestic airline flights that can be made by direct train in less than 2.5 hours, as part of a series of climate and environmental measures. It will mean the end of short internal flights from Orly Airport, south of Paris, to Nantes and Bordeaux among others, though connecting flights through Charles de Gaulle, Roissy Airport, north of the French capital, will continue. The Climate Commission set up by Macron had originally recommended the scrapping of all flights between French destinations where an alternative direct train journey of less than 4 hours existed. A year ago, the French government agreed a €7 billion loan for AFKLM on the condition that certain internal flights were dropped, but the decree will also stop low-cost airlines from operating the banned domestic routes. Austria's coalition conservative Green government introduced a €30 tax on airline tickets for flights of less than 217 miles last June and a ban on domestic flights that could be traveled in less than 3 hours by train. The Netherlands has been trying since June 2013 to ban short domestic flights. In 2019, Dutch MPs voted to ban flights between Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam and Zaventem Airport in Brussels, a distance of 93 miles.
This post received a score of 9,200, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
I really wish train travel would get cheaper. Did UK to Amsterdam a few times, and even flying out of London City the train was only slightly cheaper but with a much longer journey. Anywhere outside of London a plane is a clear winner.
Manchester to London takes 2 hours 10 minutes and drops you in the heart of London, so for me that beats flying.
You sure about that? Birmingham to London has never been less than 2 hours 15 minutes for me. But for sure, that journey I would probably take by train too.
Yes. See this journey planner. Manchester Piccadilly to London Euston tomorrow leaves 9:35, arrives 11:44, 2.09. From Birmingham to London. Tomorrow, you can leave Birmingham New Street at 9:10 and arrive at London Euston at 10.41, 1.31. It takes about 2.11 between the same stations if you use London North Western Railway rather than Avanti.
See, this is why we learned about trains in math class.
But what was the train driver's name?
It's about pollution, not the virus.
Also only applies to French airlines. Private jets are free to roam. Rules for thee but not for the rich and powerful.
And KLM, the largest Dutch airline.
They are the same company, so not surprising.
Last time I took a 2-hour flight, it took an entire day. You go to the airport 1 hour early, deposit luggage, board, sit on the runway, fly for 2 hours, then unboard, pick up your luggage. I'd take a train if I could. If we tried that in the UK, I suspect it would only cut out Manchester, London flights.
The availability of high-speed trains in the UK is legendary. But, if France and the UK had the same rule, would it cut Paris, London flights? Record Eurostar have done this route in less than 2.5 hours. Edit. Eurostar seems to have already taken a large majority of Paris, London passengers anyway. The difference is that a lot of people from Paris take a connection in London airports. It's a lot more rare when going to Bordeaux or Lyon. IIRC they're ruling out short domestic flights excluding connecting flights. But maybe this will also impact connecting flights as they will become less profitable for airlines when the number of passengers on a given route decreases.
Need to have the unified tickets like in Germany to make that work.
In Japan the price of flights can be cheaper than the bullet train.
Shinkansen prices are a bit wacky. I think with the new domestic use rail pass you might see some reduction in price a bit though. By the time you account for all the people who used a rail pass to get reduced fare, you probably could have just had an averaged reduction for everyone, and even more so by not having to spend lots of money on a special program.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.